The RPG After Years is part of the We Can Make This Work Probably network. Find out more at probablywork.com. Welcome to the RPG After Years, your weekly show covering all things RPGs from the past, present, and future. I'm Rich.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Scott.
Welcome to episode 44. This week we talk all about the Video Game Award Show results. From that, we thought of the winners of all the hype world premieres. Also announced the winner of our award betting pool. But first, let's catch up with the other guys and see what we've been doing this last week. Scott, what's been going on with you?
Actually, a little less than usual this time. I mean, it helps that we did catch up last week when Jay wasn't here. By the way, Jay, we did play the shame jingle when we revealed that you did not finish NieR the segment.
Well, okay then.
So, in my spare time, I've been playing Super Mario Galaxy 2. Those people who have been listening to earlier episodes this year will remember that we beat it, but we did not get the second set of 120 stars, which are the green stars, which are just like hidden stars in each level that you've already beat, that you usually have like a really technical jump you have to make to get to them. But I'm doing that because I want to unlock like the final galaxy, which is just supposed to be like a super hard challenge. And then see if Corey can get through that. It'll be interesting. Of course, been playing NieR Automata. All I did this week was like all the side quests that were available. Apparently, I hit like the 80% side quests completed mark. So that's cool. But we still haven't hit the checkpoint, so that'll be in the coming week or so or whatever. Also been playing Xenoblade Chronicles. I did every side quest that I could feasibly do before I went to the final dungeon. And then so last night I went to the final dungeon and got to the point of no return. So I'm just going to like clean up some side quests and then I'll have that game beaten probably in the next week or two tops, I would say.
How many hours have you put into it?
I don't remember exactly, but I know it's over 100. And it's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably over 110 now.
That's insane.
But I've been doing
what in
everything.
the hell?
There's like hundreds of side quests in this game. So
How do you have the resolve to do this?
I don't know. It's just the completionist in me. But it's been fun. Like I like the game. I don't think it's as good as a lot of people hype it up to be, but it's been enjoyable so far. It's just there's way too many quests. And it's also sort of annoying because, like I said, I've literally done all of them available to me, aside from the ones where the monsters are too tough right now. And I'm still like kind of on par with the level of the enemies in the story where I'm at. So it's kind of like, damn, like I wonder, do they just expect people to grind? I'm a little higher level than them, but the bosses are giving me trouble. So
They don't scale, do they?
I don't think so. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, so I'm actually going to have to go grind at some point, I think, which sucks because I hate grinding, and I Googled it, and apparently there's like no easy way to farm experience in this game. But what you going to do? And then, of course, Friday, Corey started Cyberpunk 2077. I have not been paying, I mean, we'll talk about this more later, but I've not been paying super close attention to it just because I'm actually going through like some technical interview processes at a couple different places right now. And so I had like some take-home homework I had to do that has been taking like all my time and focus and energy. But from what I have seen, Cyberpunk seems cool. It's a lot different than what I was expecting. So we'll talk about more about our impressions when we get to that part of the show. But that's it for me this week. No games beaten or anything. What about you, Jay?
So I have been playing NieR Automata. Not a whole lot. I'll have to really catch up this next week. I played about 6 or 7 hours worth of Dragon Quest XI's and really enjoy it. So I'm certainly going to be playing that some more.
That's on my short list too. I really want to try that game out.
Yeah, it's really fun. I like it. I have been playing a lot of Final Fantasy V, and I'm at the area where it's like post Moogle Village, and you learning some stuff, and then you're like, basically get together with the naval, naval port ready to go invade. And
that's in the second world, right?
I believe so. I'm not paying a whole lot of attention of like my actual surroundings, to be completely honest. I'm trying to get through it. But I think I'm getting close to the end. I'm pretty sure.
You have a decent chunk to go, but you're like well into it. I'd say over halfway for sure.
All right. So I'm going to keep playing that and trying to get through it. But it's been interesting because I've just been trying to get, I haven't been paying too close of attention of like the like dungeons or areas that I'm in. So it's like super easy for me to get lost because I'm not remembering anything.
Is that because you're just so tired when you're playing it, or is it just like you're just trying to get through it so fast?
Probably both.
Gotcha.
Like I'm having to like flip back to like to remember where, or to know or remember where anything is instead of like searching for it. I'm just like looking it up on a guide.
Gotcha. So are you like generally enjoying it though? Or no?
Not really.
Okay.
So outside of that, I have been playing Cyberpunk. I probably have 8 hours into it, 8 or 9 hours. I like it a lot. It's not cutesy at all. So it's like super real. And so
it's hard.
It's probably not something that I will like play 20 hours a week in, because I need a little, at this point of 2020, I need a little cutesy in my life. So I'll be flipping back to Dragon Quest for that. But overall, it's really fun.
Nice balance.
Yeah, get me a nice balance of crushing capitalism and then cutesy characters.
There was one document I remember we picked up where it was talking about all about like how capitalism ruined everything and like how healthcare is like all fucked up. And I'm like, a little too close to home.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty funny. But the game is very fun. There are some obvious bugs, but my computer can play it on high settings, and the amount of bugs that I'm encountering, I expected, but the amount of bugs other people are encountering on not next gen consoles it's a little disconcerting. But we're going to do an aftercast on that to talk more about it. Plenty of news out there. Hopefully it won't be too negative.
Yeah, Corey's had his fair share of bugs too, which I'll talk about when we get there.
But yeah, that's really it for me. So what about you, Rich?
I've been playing a little bit of NieR, Call of Duty Black Ops, Cold War, playing some Nazi zombies. I find that very relaxing to shoot Nazis in the face.
Did you say Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Okay.
What other games?
I just didn't. I made sure I heard you right. I was like, wait, zombies?
Yeah, Nazi zombies.
What other games has Nazi zombies that you shoot in the face? Or just Nazis that you shoot in the face?
I don't know, but like Call of Duty, the only thing I really like about Call of Duty besides the stories, and I really need to play the story on this one, but it's not the multiplayer. It's not the stupid Warzone stuff. It's literally just getting a group of friends together, shooting Nazis in the face.
Nice.
Nazi zombies.
Can't complain about that.
And trying to survive.
Wolfenstein is what you shoot Nazis. Isn't that what that game's about?
I think so, but I don't think they're dead though.
Not zombie Nazis, yeah.
Yeah, but zombies.
Werewolf zombies? Is it?
Yeah.
That should be a thing.
Werewolf zombies. I played a little bit of Spider-Man, the original one. I'm still playing that one. I can't remember where I left off. I have a really bad habit of seeing shiny objects on the map and be like, ooh, I gotta go do that.
Oh, that's how I play that. I mean,
yeah,
I just could do all the side quests, so.
It annoys me. It's like, I want to play the story, but there's this thing right there that I gotta go get before I get to that. And then there's another thing I gotta go get. And then when I get there, there's another thing. So it's a vicious cycle that I can't get past.
That game's so fun, I didn't really mind doing the side quests.
I mean, it is pretty fun. A little bit of Destiny 2, and then Cyberpunk 2077. So I fired that up finally. I had to work Thursday night. I put it in there, started the download, and it didn't download overnight for some reason. And then I did the download and update Friday night, and then I finally got to play it a little bit last night. So that's why the dock was a little bit late, because I thought I was going to put those all together. But yeah, so that's...
Yeah, I was actually wondering if we were going to have an episode.
Yeah, no, I got you.
What life path did you choose?
Corpo?
I picked the Nomad.
Oh, that's cool, because Corey picked Street Kid. So
Sweet.
There we go.
Trifecta. I think if I was playing, I would have picked Corpo. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why something drove me to that one. I just saw the elegant people.
Well, because you are Corpo.
Exactly.
Yeah, a little bit, just a tiny bit. So that's good. And I'm really trying to figure out if I want to start Dragon Quest XI as well. I'm trying to decide because I've got it on my Switch. And I was like, well, maybe I could pick it up on the PlayStation 4 and play it that way. But nah, I'm good. Apparently, it's the same thing. It's the same game, just on PlayStation 4.
I don't think it even looks that much better, to be completely honest.
No, it doesn't. Actually, that's why a lot of people are kind of pissed off that it's basically the same thing. They didn't upscale it or anything like that.
Well, Jay, you weren't here last week, but one of our news stories was that people were pissed because Dragon Quest or Square had delisted the original version of DQ11 from digital storefronts, and that pissed people off because even though the Switch version or 11S or whatever has all these new features and side quests and shit, the original version on PS4 or whatever actually had better graphics, better textures and all kinds of stuff. So it's like, really? You didn't go back and upgrade it when you ported it back?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And the last thing, not make more money, obviously. The last thing I want to do is, I noticed that .hack on the PlayStation Network is on sale for $10, and I got some gift cards and stuff for Christmas, so I'm thinking about picking that up on my PlayStation. I think, Jay, don't you have that?
I have the .hack GU Last Recode, which is it's like the remaster of the 4 .hack GU games.
Aren't those supposed to be actually pretty good?
So I've played about an hour of the first one and have been holding it, hoping that somebody else would play it so we can review it, because I don't want to play it without there being a review. I've played the non-GU .hack games. So the first 3 .hack games that came out, I played them way back in my youth. And those were really fun. Looking back, the graphics were god-awful, but they were fun.
So I'm thinking about picking that up because it's only $10.
Yeah, they're cheap. It's very cheap. So get it, and if you start playing it, we can. I'll play the first one, and we can review it.
Rich, are you actually going to stick with Dragon Quest?
I think so. I have a New Year's resolution that I really want us to, when we get to that, because that's what we typically do at the
That'll be the first
start of New Year's. Is I really want to just, when I start a game, I really want to finish it. That's going to be my New Year's resolution, is I don't pick anything else up.
All right. Well, if you get halfway into DQ11, how about I make a solemn oath that I will pick it up go ahead and start it. And then,
Because you'll catch up.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying I need to see some proof first that you're actually going to stick with
Well,
it.
I'm actually playing it.
I know.
I'm just the rogue wild card that can't
Wild card.
seem to. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So once we're caught up, let's kind of go to the save state of the podcast, guys.
Was not ready. 1 second.
Surprise. All right, so the RPG After Years has a really cyberpunk Patreon. Scott, why don't you tell us about it?
All right, our Patreon has some pretty cool benefits. One of them is early episode access, so you get them, a day or two or even 3 early. You get ad-free episodes. You don't have to listen to Bill make stupid jokes during the anchor ads and all that. No network promos, none of that. You get the Aftercast, which we're about to record today, which will be about just all the controversies surrounding the release of Cyberpunk, from the bugs to the human issues and the crunch and how it released and all that. There's lots to talk about there, so look forward to that. You'll get extra non-RPG reviews. We've really been cranking those out. I think The Last of Us 2 review is going to be releasing soon. You get to participate in the RPG Club nominations and voting, and lots more, such as, for example, an annual gift is going out to our higher tier patrons soon. It's a surprise gift, so they can look forward to that. But you can find out more at patreon.com/RPGafteryears. And before we move on, I just wanted to thank Strap/Frost, whatever he wants to be called these days, for upping his Patreon pledge to $10. We really appreciate that, man. It goes a long way towards helping us improve the show. Yeah, that's it for Patreon.
All right. Thank you guys for that. So the next thing is Twitch. As you notice that we are streaming live. We stream every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/RPGafteryears.
We're live now.
Yeah.
Live now, live in the flesh and in the digital ones and zeros. So another thing that we are doing is the RPG Club. So this is kind of a community event that we have been holding. And there are some Patreon benefits with that to get more involved. However, the game we are playing now is NieR Automata. And the checkpoint that we need to reach is to finish Route B. So completely finish the game again, technically, to get the second or maybe third or fourth ending by now, depending on how adventurous you've gotten within the other gameplays. But the due date for that is December 20th.
I'm actually following this guy on Twitter who is participating in the club, and he has, every time he hits one of the endings, he's like, third game of 2020 finished, fourth game of 2020 finished, NieR Automata, fifth game of 2020 finished. I thought that was funny.
Technically he did.
I accidentally hit a like secret ending for 2B or 9S. It would be 9S. It's Route B, 9S. Like right at the very, very beginning. If instead of going to the bot, you like wander off, and it's just like, oh, he ditched.
We actually got that ending twice on accident.
Yep.
So
I think I did too. I got that one. And I was like, what the hell's happening here? Like,
which means you have to replay that fucking part where you're the little robot carrying the oil. So I had to do that like 3 or 4 times. It was awful.
Lame.
So one more announcement. The betting pool results will be announced at the end of our main discussion today. And whoever wins that gets some free show swag. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. For those that don't know, we held like a contest to see who could most accurately predict the results of the Game Awards. Also, we're going to be doing a Secret Santa amongst us 3 hosts, probably on the last episode of the year. So that'll be fun. Have you guys gotten... Actually, I'm not going to ask you who has gotten gifts and all that, because I have a feeling we might accidentally give things away if we even try to talk about it with there only being 3 people. So
it's not very hard. We just need to learn like one person, like we ruining the surprise for one of us would inevitably allow us to determine who has
Right.
the
If
best.
even one person figures it out. So.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited, and I want to talk about it, but I can't.
Yes. Not a
Because
good
my
idea.
person is going to love this.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Well, I know it's not me.
You don't know that. It could,
I don't
be,
love-
Stop talking.
I don't love anything.
it could be hair care product. I don't know.
There you go.
All right. So with that, let's get to some news, guys.
Let's.
Hear ye, gather round for all your news. Stop your clatter and listen close. Alas, you won't believe your ears. Listen close for the news.
All right, I'll kick us off today with the lead story. So, BioWare shares an early teaser for the next Mass Effect at the Game Awards in 2020. So, it was not, I think pretty much they just showed it, like a little snippet of it, and that was it. They didn't really talk about anything. It was just, hey, we're doing this, and here.
The
I
little
know that
teaser
the other one didn't work
showed
out so
a
well.
woman that looked like the blue alien lady from the original trilogy, Liara, I think is her name. So, but I thought it was weird that they ended the Game Awards on this announcement because I think they had already said previously that, yes, the next Mass Effect is under development. So it wasn't like a huge reveal, I didn't think.
I'm not a big fan of them, so I don't know too much about them to be honest, to be
Have you played
excited
them?
about it. I played a little bit of the first one long time ago, and I felt like it was kind of a drag. So
What?
about you,
if they
Jay?
bring it to you hush your mouth.
I've never played the first one. I've played
Oh.
the second one. The second one's really good.
I've heard the first one is rough around the edges in comparison to the other two, but that's another series I've never played that I would be interested in checking out just based on what I've seen from it.
For the longest time, I thought the first Mass Effect was turn-based.
Oh, I think somebody else told me they thought that too. I wonder why. That would be cool. I know you can do like the sort of like the FF7 style where you freeze combat and then like make
Yeah.
decisions.
Yeah, you can do that if I remember correctly. But I think they're doing a collection, right? And that's going to be released on PS4 and Xbox
Oh yeah,
of all three of
I
them.
forgot about that. Yeah, that was a
I
news
hope it
story a
gets
couple weeks
released
ago.
on Steam.
It's on the Steam already. I thought so.
I don't think 3 is on Steam.
No,
There's
you're
no-
right.
There's no collection on Steam.
Okay, I was wrong. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that one.
Yeah,
They
I'm
kind of
excited.
did that last year too, where they announced a game at the very end. Do you remember the Fast and the Furious game?
Oh yeah, was that really?
Yeah, they did.
That was the last one. It's like, I mean, we'll talk about the show itself, but I think that the corporate powers that be like make them do their biggest shit at the beginning of the show, while people are still watching. But
Yeah.
I guess that
In the very
makes
end,
sense.
everybody's like, go to sleep, and like, here's the last video game.
Yeah,
Fast
I mean,
and
not that
Furious.
Mass Effect's
No
not a
one
big
cares.
announcement, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, this was the highlight of the show for me personally. They announced before the show started that they would be showing the next Smash Brothers DLC character at the Game Awards. So speculation lit up. I think most people were leaning that it was going to be Crash Bandicoot, but like, everybody was guessing, maybe the Doom guy, maybe Master Chief, maybe Ryu from the Ninja Gaiden series,
Or Sora.
or Sora. That was another common guess. But I don't think many people, if at all, were guessing who it actually was. They are bringing Final Fantasy VII's Sephiroth to Smash Bros. Ultimate, which, as you guys might imagine, I'm hyped for that. So I've watched. It was a pretty cool trailer, just the way they portrayed Sephiroth, and he looks like he's going to be fun to play as at the very least.
I have a request.
Yeah.
We need a sound drop of just Sephiroth.
Remind me, and I'll get that.
Yeah, because that was a pretty good trailer and stuff, the way that they did it. Like, isn't that big floaty orb thing with the big hands like a bad guy? Supposedly?
Yeah, it's like the main villain of the story mode in Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, well, he got killed real quick.
Yeah. But as soon as it, had those first few notes of One Winged Angel with the dun, 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 I was like, I knew instantly.
I love the reactions.
Yeah.
Of like Cloud every time. It's like, God damn it.
I saw a tweet that said,
I can't get away.
I saw a tweet that said, if Sephiroth wins a match and the announcer doesn't go, "This game's winner is Sephiroth," then I don't want it. The only complaint I have been seeing is that Final Fantasy is this huge series, and we get another 7 rep instead of like picking somebody else from somewhere else in Final Fantasy.
All about that clout.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's not many more well-known Final Fantasy characters outside of Cloud and Sephiroth.
I'm trying to think of like who would you have instead? Like
Kefka?
The only other 2 characters that I can think of that might be recognizable enough in the modern day would be like Lightning and Noctis. And I think Lightning would be cool, but
Yeah.
I think she's kind of also faded out of the limelight. So I get. Plus, this is kind of like promotion for the 7 remake or whatever. I just hope that they represent Final Fantasy a little better this time, because like Final Fantasy got like 2 spirits and 2 music tracks to represent the series when Cloud came, and they didn't up that at all for Ultimate.
I feel like they really should have Sora, because I'm just imagining all the cool, like with Sora, I feel like you can bring in like a lot of cameos because of Sora's summons and stuff. So I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I think.
But then also you have to be legally allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And Disney's not really a big fan of that.
Can you imagine like I don't know, Solid Snake throwing a grenade at Mickey Mouse?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, right? They should do it. But I guess that I'm fine with it overall. And the only thing with Sora is I feel like now that Square Enix got another rep in there, that's probably an end to anybody hoping and dreaming for Sora and Smash, at least this go around. But what you going to do? I'm excited for Sephi.
All right, next up, Genshin Impact. Version 1.2 launches on December 23rd. So it's adding a new Dragon Spine map, new events, and new characters. And it looks like it is going to be like a seasonal event, the Chalk Prince and the Dragon. So that's taking place at Dragon Spine. I don't know how many people listening actually plays Genshin Impact, but it is fun. I'm not like actually doing a lot of the quests and stuff. It's mainly because you have to have internet, and I have not completed the task of switching my SIM card from my iPhone to my new phone, my new Android phone that can actually play Genshin Impact. So like every time I leave the house, I'm just taking my iPhone with me because I have to like call and do crap to get it switched around, and I'm not about that. So, but Gracie really likes playing it. She gets pretty pissed though whenever when the characters die. But it's fun. Check it out. New patch coming through is adding some cool events.
Do you know anything, or like does that stuff that it says is coming in the patch mean anything to you? Or
0 things to me.
Okay, I figured probably not. Okay, moving on. Is the next story mine?
So,
Nope. Okay.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remaster gets a patch in December. You guys know about that? You still play that? Does anybody still play that game?
No, I just brought it up because this patch is actually pretty significant. So one of the main complaints about this Crystal Chronicles Online was that every time you completed a dungeon, you had to like go through the whole like reconnecting and setup process again with the friend to play another dungeon. Now it's allowing like continuous play. You can just go from dungeon to dungeon in the same session, which is pretty significant, but like a little too little too late at this point, I feel. I'm sure there are some people out there that are still playing it, but
a lot of bugs are fixed. A lot of the objects that spawn the question mark element, fixing bugs, synchronism, bugs, boss battles, minor fixes on Android, improved reaction speed when picking up items inside the dungeon, addition of Moogle storage in each town, return map option when defeated by a boss. So like there's a lot of changes. So hopefully they make some good impact with that. But I haven't played it.
Maybe what we should do is wait until they fix all the issues with it in like 2 years, and then the 3 of us can hop on and
there we go.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yes.
Okay. The next thing, this came out. Apparently, the entire mainline Yakuza series will be available on PC and Xbox next year, which I am hyped for because I've been hearing nothing but like great things about Yakuza lately.
Is that Game Pass?
Yeah, I
Or
think some of them already are, but they revealed that they're actually like bringing all of it to Game Pass now. Doesn't say when, just 2021, but I'm excited because, like I said, apparently the Yakuza games are great, and this new one that just came out, Yakuza Like a Dragon, I've heard nothing but like great shit about. So yeah, that's another series like Mass Effect that I've never touched that I just really want to get into. I'd probably put Yakuza above Mass Effect, to be honest. Either of you guys interested in trying out a Yakuza at some point?
I'll try it, but I'm not like chomping at the bit.
Yeah, from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like it would be my type of game, but it's just like everybody I know that has played it is like, you got to play it. So, and now that we're all on Game Pass, then it will be easy for us to do so.
So next up is NieR Replicant version .1.224744871139 gets a new gameplay trailer at the Game Awards. Did you guys actually go and watch this?
No.
It was. Oh yeah, I did. Did you?
Yeah,
I watched the whole thing.
I'm also watching it now, and looks good.
Yeah. So I wasn't clear on if this game was going to be like a remaster of the original or a remake, but it looks like they've entirely retooled the combat. And watching it, I was like, oh, it looks like it plays very similarly to, if not exactly like, NieR Automata. And so I think this is going to be a pickup for me. Like, I'm definitely going to get it and play it whenever it does come out.
What exactly is NieR Replicant? Is it related to Automata? Is it...
It's the first game in the NieR series. Apparently there's a lot of like references and plot threads that connect the two of them. So I'm going to do my best at explaining this. Apparently there are actually two versions of the original NieR. One of them is NieR Replicant. One of them is NieR Gestalt. And the one that we got in America was NieR Gestalt. And apparently the only main difference is in one of them, the two main characters are father and daughter, and then they like changed it to brother and sister for in America for Gestalt or something like that. So we're getting the version that we never got in America this time, just like kind of remade, I guess. It took me a lot of research before I understood that, though. But yeah, I'm excited. NieR Automata has been more or less great so far, so this game should be also at least enjoyable. So
yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so another thing announced at the Game Awards, Disco Elysium, the final cut, was announced for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Stadia. So everything. So I don't really know much about Disco Elysium, but I remember when it came out, it like won multiple awards, and everybody said it had like a great story. And apparently it is considered an RPG. So I'd be interested in trying it out one day. Just watching the trailer, it didn't look too appealing, but sometimes games that aren't like, graphical powerhouses can be hard to come across in trailers as being worth playing these days, I guess. But yeah, everybody look forward to that. So you got just like a hot list here of some other trailers that were shown during the Game Awards for some RPGs. They showed off the next Dragon Age. I don't know about you guys. Every time I see gameplay or watch somebody play a Dragon Age game, like my eyes glaze over, and I'm just like, this looks boring.
I haven't enjoyed a Dragon Age game since the first one.
Yeah,
And I've played all three of them.
Oh, okay. I know a lot of people really love them, but they look so like dry to me and unappealing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. They showed MMO Crimson Desert, which I don't really know anything about.
Related to Black Desert?
I have no idea.
I think so.
You're the MMO correspondent, Rich. You should know everything.
Yeah,
about
I
it,
think
right?
it's Black Desert is another MMORPG. I don't know too much about it, and I think it's not really one of the main MMORPGs that's out there in mainstream.
Yeah, Black Desert looks fun, but I decided not to buy it whenever it was like $10.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But I thought Crimson Desert wasn't going to be a MMORPG now. I think it's going to be an RPG with multiplayer aspects to it. So it may not be a true MMORPG though.
Okay. They showed more Monster Hunter Rise. That's the next Monster Hunter game, right? That's not a DLC or anything? Okay.
Yeah,
You gonna pick that one up?
gonna
Dave?
be on the Switch. Yes, I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah. That's the one with like the more cutesy-ish characters, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
that's Monster Hunter Stories.
Oh.
Fuck's wrong with you guys?
I know nothing.
Come on.
I thought it looked kind of cool.
Jeez.
They showed more Scarlet Nexus, which is that like Astral Chain knockoff looking game, and didn't really teach me anything new, but it still looks cool. So that's another one I'm going to keep an eye on. And then they showed off more Elder Scrolls Online Gates of Oblivion, which I'm sure some people out there are excited for. But I don't know nothing about it.
So I googled it. Crimson Desert is a sequel of sorts to Pearl Abyss's flagship game, Black Desert. It combines elements of narrative-driven single-player games with online multiplayer functionality. So I might actually play it because, by golly, I love single-player games, but usually like MMO games are the ones that have like the really expansive worlds.
You got to finish FF14 first.
I don't
It's
gotta
going to
do
take a
anything.
long time.
But those are all the games that were shown off that I would consider to be an RPG. So we'll let Rich cover the rest of the stuff shown.
Yeah. So some world premieres were Loop Hero, Sea of Solitude Director's Cut, Shady Part of Me, Century Age of Ashes, that's a dragon fighting game, Perfect Dark. A lot of people are excited for that one.
Yeah, it's a big like revival that they announced during the show. One of the biggest announcements. Either of you ever play any of the other two Perfect Dark games?
No, it's an N64 game, right?
The first one was. It was basically like a GoldenEye, but you're a woman, from what I could tell.
Gotcha. So, and then Back for Blood.
Apparently that is a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. So,
yes, and I'm kind of excited for that one because
Corey
that'll
is
be
too.
fun shooting some zombies.
I hated Left 4 Dead.
I do too, but for some reason Corey loves it.
Well, Corey's got it right then. So the next one, the Callisto Protocol, that one really speculation of a Dead Space game.
Oh yeah, that looks cool. I forgot about that.
So I think because it's even made by the same guys.
I almost bought the Dead Space collection on Steam. I was so close to it. I want to play them pretty bad.
I do too.
They're
I love
good.
scary games. So.
The third one sucked,
Oh
but
really?
the first two were good. Third one they abandoned horror protocol, and they abandoned the horror aspect of it, and then all of a sudden went to just the action part of it, and it just dropped off. So when they kind of left the roots there, they're trying to do something new. It just went terrible.
Oh, they're
So,
still on sale. Maybe I'll go buy them.
Right
There you
after
go.
this.
But can we just like just start reviewing any games for the main show?
Sure.
I have like a backlog of like 4 games I need to review on the main show, but we always have like something else going on. It's hard to plan them because I mean they're usually multi-parts. So soon.
Endless Dungeon, or Open Roads, I don't know, Endless Dungeon, Seasons.
that one looks
Black
cool. to
Woman,
me.
is it?
You play as like
what's
this
the Black Woman one?
like this very African woman doing like research on like nature and studying shit.
Oh, okay.
It sounds boring on paper, but I thought, and it had like this really cool art style. I'm gonna keep an eye on that one.
Sounds like a vibe game.
I'll vibe. I'm here for.
I
the
mean, like
vibes.
Harvest Moon, or not Harvest Moon. Animal Crossing sounds boring on paper.
Right, yeah, and yet it was up for a game of the year. So
Yes. And the next one is the highly anticipated, awesome, it's got such a great person in it, Vin Diesel's Arc 2.
I couldn't tell how seriously I should be taking this. I mean, the trailer was cool, but like I was taken out of it the whole time just by the fact that Vin Diesel was a
Until
caveman
they
person.
show me the gameplay on it, I'm not yet. Because Arc is just a survival. That's it. You build, survive, loot.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's all it is. So we'll have to see what it is and how Vin Diesel even plays a factor in this one. Odyssey.
I hate whenever they put movie stars in games. Like Cyberpunk doing it with Keanu takes me out of it too. But also because Keanu sucks in Cyberpunk. I'm going to say that right now.
Oh, so you've already met him.
Yes, I'm technically well past that part, but his voice acting is bad.
Oh, really? That's sad.
Yes, and it bothers me. It's like just
We'll get
have your own
there.
character.
We'll get there. Fist, Odyssey, Elite Dungeons, or Elite Dangerous, sorry. Evil Dead the game. Don't they already have this game out? I thought, is this just kind of just a remaster?
I have no
I
idea.
wonder. So, anyways. Returnal, Outriders, Mantra of Survival, It Takes Two, Return King, a League of Legends story.
I'm sure we'll all be playing that one.
Yeah, totally.
It Takes Two looked like it might be like a fun co-op game. I liked the art style. And I'm also going to keep an eye on Open Roads. It looked like it might be a very like Life is Strange-ish type game, and it also looked like it might be like hand-drawn, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But any of these in particular that you guys want to discuss anymore, or shall we move on? Okay. Yeah, so lots of things were shown, and that was exciting. RPGs released in the last week. On December 10th was Brigandine, The Legend of Runeterra on the PS4. On December 10th, also, we had Cyberpunk 2077 come out finally on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Although maybe it should have skipped the PS4, honestly. But
It should have probably stayed in the oven about 6 more months.
something like that.
Yeah.
Collection of Saga, Final Fantasy Legend, comes to Switch on December 15th. I bet
Hey,
Rich has
Rich.
that one pre-ordered.
What's the saga?
No. Nothing. No Saga. How dare you?
Yeah, right. I know you have that shit pre-ordered.
do-
You told me, I think.
No, I don't actually. I don't have it pre-ordered. I think for a second, I'm like, do I?
Oh, well, color me shocked. And then on December 17th, we have Mercenaries Blaze Dawn of the Twin Dragons coming to Switch, whatever that is. And so we'll let Jay cover what's coming up this week.
The items coming up this week, such a long list, this is going to take a while. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords is coming out on mobile December 18th. And then the Genshin Impact patch 1.2 was being released, what did it say, the 23rd? Yep, December 23rd.
Yep, so not
That's
much
it.
going on this week. I guess things are like slowing to a crawl here at the end now that Cyberpunk's out.
I didn't realize Knights of the Old Republic 2 was not already on mobile. I knew the first one was. I imagined the second one would be too, because it's not like the second one is a jump of technological advancements compared to the first one that came out like a year later.
What system was that on again?
Xbox
Oh, okay.
and PC.
My neighbor gave me like a Star Wars game she was going to throw out the other day. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was a PlayStation 1 game though. So yeah, but that's all our news.
Yeah. So, okay, with all that out of the way, let's take a quick break before we get to our main discussion.
Hello, my name's Bill. I'm here in the UK doing UK things, not being eaten by giant people.
And I'm Tyler, in the US, also not being eaten by giant people. And we host The Coordinate, an Attack on Titan podcast, where we...
Hold on a second, Tyler. Hold on. There's some weird noises going on outside the door. Let me just go check it out quickly. It's Twitter Troy Titan. My leg. He's eating my leg.
Bill?
No. Oh, it's gone. He's eating my bloody leg, Tyler. Troy's eating my leg.
Anyways, we're a monthly podcast where we read an arc of the manga a month, try to get Bill caught up. Bill, you want to tell them where they can find us?
What? What do you want?
Where can people listen to the podcast?
I don't have a clue. Oh, he's going to eat me. He's going to eat me. Why are there so many cats in here? Oh, God, I hope you
Can I get a new co-host?
All right, guys, time for the main discussion. What on earth happened at the Video Game Awards last week? So let's kind of just, dive into some of these categories and kind of give us our feels of what we thought, if we thought it was justified, if it was a good pick, if you thought something of the other games that were nominated that deserved to win. We'll just kind of go through the list here. There's quite a few. What would you say, Scott? Like 23 categories?
Something like that.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure I've only played 2 games in all of this entire list.
Wow.
yeah. So some of our comments are going to be like, oh well. So let's just get it out of the way. Game of the year, which was Last of Us Part 2.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Shook
So
him.
why? Why are you guys shocked about it?
I'm not. I
that was
didn't
sarcasm.
play Last of Us Part 2, but I'm not shocked given how popular The Last of Us, the first one, was. So I know this was highly anticipated, and it mostly delivered. It seems like if a game is highly anticipated and hits like most of the check boxes, then it's almost like a guaranteed game of the year. If a game is highly anticipated and like really falls flat, like Cyberpunk is doing right now, unfortunately, then very, very fat chance it'll win anything. And then if a game is not highly anticipated, but ends up being like overwhelmingly loved, then it's kind of like, it's probably not going to win game of the year, but it's most likely going to win like something more niche.
That makes
So
sense.
I'm not surprised at all with The Last of Us Part 2.
I thought it might be Ghost of Tsushima at one point, but like the closer we got to the awards, I was like, no, it's going to be Last of Us. Just based on like, it was nominated for like 10 categories or something, or 9 other categories too.
I think overall Ghost of Tsushima was a little bit of a sleeper. Like it didn't have the, it was like the first of its like kind, technically speaking. It was absolutely a sleeper in Japan. Like I know they were not expecting Ghost of Tsushima to be as popular in Japan, but it definitely did. It didn't have the clout behind it that The Last of Us had.
Yeah. I mean, my game of the year would have been the 7 remake, but I knew there wasn't a chance in hell of that winning game of the year. So,
It's nice to see Final Fantasy up there.
Yeah, that's
At least
true.
to be
I'm glad it
nominated.
at least got the recognition as a candidate.
To be
But
completely
Hades, since it just
honest,
came out, I don't know.
like I would have picked Ghost of Tsushima over the 7 remake as game of the year. And that's with me like blocking out a lot of like nostalgia with Final Fantasy 7 though.
Yeah, I mean, when we reviewed FF7, we gave it, our combined score was a 92, which is now like a 4-way tie for the show's highest rated game.
Yeah.
So we loved it, but there've been a lot of good games this year. I still haven't played Tsushima myself, but I would like to give it a try at some point, especially hearing all the praise you've been heaping onto it, Jay.
Yeah, I need to go back to it. I haven't even finished 1/3 of the game yet.
Yeah. I've heard that the side quests are more interesting in that game than the main quest somehow. So
Yeah, I know that the side quests are certainly not like there's not a whole lot of empty quests. And that's something that's good in my opinion.
But, I mean, we played The Last of Us Part 2, and that game is fantastic. And our review is not, it's been recorded and edited, but it's not out to everybody yet, or to the patrons. But that was also one of the 4-way ties. Like, it also got a 92 from us. The game is great. Like,
I need to stop giving 92s. We need the next time we get a 92, I'm bumping it up to a 93.
If we had counted Corey's score, which we didn't, because he never actually played the game, he just watched me and Lauren play it, it would have been a 93. So we safeguarded that one.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And like all the haters too as well. Like I hated all that controversy, which we talked about in the review surrounding the game. I'm glad that the game actually got like sort of the recognition it deserves here. It kind of ran away with the show. I think it won every category it was nominated for except for soundtrack, which went to 7 Remake. And I would say deservedly so there. But
Yeah. So the next one is game direction. The winner for that one was Last of Us Part 2.
What does game direction mean? Like what's the criteria here?
I've been wondering that too, because there's actually been a bit of controversy surrounding this award because the there was a lot of crunch involved in the development of Last of Us Part 2. And so I've seen people saying, like, giving this game the reward for best direction or whatever is like validating, yes, it is okay to create a game under these circumstances. And it's just perfectly fine to direct a game that requires, to kill your employees, basically. But I have to assume that that wasn't even considered whatever this panel was deciding the winner for this award.
No, they were just probably looking at the game itself. So I don't know. Next one is most anticipated game, Elden Ring from Bandai Namco. I don't know anything about this.
Is Elden Ring even good?
No, it's not even out yet. But there's a lot of people that's like have seen it, saying that it's supposed to be amazing.
It's a new property. This is the one where it's like a Dark Souls-ish game, but it's like partially written by George R.R. Martin. Apparently, a lot of people are excited about it because some other things in this category.
When's it supposed to be coming out?
I don't know, actually.
Nope, no word yet.
But like some other games nominated were like the God of War sequel and the Breath of the Wild sequel. So I did pick Elden Ring. I figured that's what would get selected. But to me, it's like those other two games are in a different planet from whatever the fuck Elden Ring is. But I say that as somebody who doesn't really care about Dark Souls or anything.
What all was Elden Ring coming out for? Is it coming out for PC at all? Microsoft one? Okay. Yeah, it will be. Okay. Just checking. Yeah,
Jason,
I've seen
this now.
Partially, I mean, I don't think it's quite deserving of most anticipated game. I feel like all we've seen is like, I feel like Cyberpunk was significantly more anticipated than Elden Ring.
We'll see when it gets closer to Elden Ring's time. It's just I know that there's this huge rabid fan base for these Dark Souls games at this point. Definitely not for me. And I guess maybe to me, George R.R. Martin being involved is almost like a negative. So, but maybe since it's just one game, he'll come through for us.
I think him being involved is a positive to the story, negative to when it's going to be released.
Yeah.
He's got like the title, chapter 1, written on like a script somewhere, and that's it.
That's all they're waiting on. They have
the
all
game
they're
was
waiting
actually
on
ready
is
2 years ago.
Yeah, just where's George's script?
So best narrative is Last of Us Part 2.
Deserving, I would say. The story of that game is like very gripping and made me feel things that video games rarely make me feel. So
Feels.
I was happy that it got that award. It deserved it.
All right. So next up is art direction, and the winner was Ghost of Tsushima. And I don't remember what else was nominated, but the art direction in Ghost of Tsushima is really good. So I would say this is well deserved.
The others were 7 Remake, Hades, Ori and Will of the Wisps, and Last of Us 2.
Okay. Well, compared to Ori and the Will of the Wisps and then Hades, I think there's an argument there that Ghost of Tsushima's art direction is not actually as good. In terms of like, I guess it kind of depends on what you're looking at artistically.
Yeah. I think if I was hoping that this one would go to Ori just because those games are like just beautiful and very animated well and just a pleasure to look at. But I could also see why Tsushima would take it as well.
Tsushima's very realistic. So
plus they have like those black and white like movie filters and like roses and leaves flying everywhere, stuff like that from what I've seen.
And like you can have it in the black and white and then Japanese dubbed. So yeah, pretty good. So next up is score and music. And the only one that could have won that is the Final Fantasy VII Remake, because the music is great.
Agreed.
So good.
One of the best video game soundtracks out there, I would say, of all time.
And I still get goosebumps thinking about the ending scene whenever like the main theme starts playing after Aerith like drops her last words of the game. So good.
Oh, the Hollow. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then looking at these other candidates, Doom Eternal, Hades, Ori and Will of the Wisps, Last of Us 2, I don't have anything against those game soundtracks, but there's like, I don't feel like they probably even come close to 7 Remake. Unless you love metal, and then maybe
Doom is pretty good. It's I'm playing Doom Eternal. I played it a couple weeks ago, and I'm still kind of chugging with that one. But it puts you in the mood to like, I really want to fight somebody. So it's just really aggressive. So it's pretty good.
I don't know.
The 7 Remake had 8 discs of music, and they're coming out with 7 Remake original soundtrack plus with all the other tracks they couldn't fit on those 8 discs somehow.
Oh, good God.
So they really went balls to the wall on that one. So yeah, I'm happy that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So next up is audio design, and The Last of Us Part 2 won that. So I'm assuming audio design means like not music, so like other audio parts. So how good is the atmosphere, the world, I don't know, footsteps.
Yeah.
Hell if I know.
So like last year, the Resident Evil 2 remake won that, if I remember right, very deservedly, because like you could hear Mr. X stomping around in other areas of the police station and tell like where he was, and just the audio in general was amazing. And it's pretty good in The Last of Us Part 2 as well, although that didn't stand out to me as like one of the game's super strong points. But then again, I guess it's kind of hard to judge that when all games should theoretically have good audio design in this day and age.
I agree. And so one thing that is screwing me up with Cyberpunk is some bugs in the audio design.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm a little disappointed there. So good on The Last of Us Part 2 for having it well done. So next up is, what is it?
Games for Impact.
Games for Impact, and the winner was Tell Me Why. I have no idea what either of these are.
Oh,
it's a very not slice of life, but like story-based, decision-driven game. It's like Life is Strange. I haven't played it, but I want to soon. Apparently, it's like this dude and his sister go back to their childhood home to try and figure out why their mother went like psycho insane, apparently. And apparently the dude is like a trans character, so that's awesome. So I think this is definitely like another game that's on my short list to play. I haven't played any of the other ones. I've heard good things about Spiritfarer, but that's about the only one I've even heard of.
Yeah, I'm assuming Games for Impact just mean like which game has delivered the most impact, like emotional impact.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like societal change or like making a splash and like making you like I think one year Celeste won because that game deals with like anxiety and mental depression and stuff like that.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So next up is the best ongoing game, and No Man's Sky won that. I would say probably rightfully so. I've heard, so whenever No Man's Sky was released, like everybody, like the game, like the company went under fire for basically saying X, Y, and Z was going to exist in the game, but only X existed in the game. Like they released the game without like missing a bunch of features they said they would have. And over the past couple of years, they've just steadily released upgrades to the game, and they've just continued development on it. And apparently it's really, really good now. It's on Game Pass. So, and I have it downloaded and installed, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I haven't played it myself, but based on everything that I've heard, I was glad that this game won. I actually wasn't expecting it to, because it's kind of old now, but or several years old. But they've just gone, ham as far as like improving the game and turning it into what they originally promised and more. Like, and all these updates have been more or less free, from what I understand. So, kudos to them and for actually like putting in the legwork and making the game what matched their original vision after that rocky start or whatever.
Shows that if you put a lot of work into it, you can actually get it done. Hint, hint, Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Well, they did the same. CD Projekt Red did the same thing with The Witcher 2. It was like kind of bad on release, and then
that's what I've heard.
They fixed it up, and now it's amazing.
Okay, so Best indie game, no surprise here, it went to Hades. Some of these categories are really easy to guess just based on like, okay, so Hades was up for Game of the Year, so obviously it's going to win this category where it's the only Game of the Year contender listed. But
I'm curious about it. I
Hades
might
good?
pick it up at some point. Apparently,
it's a roguelike, I think, or a roguelite with a decent story is what I've heard.
Roguelike games really just turn me off.
Same here. It's not my jam at all. I've watched some people play it on Twitch or whatever, and I don't think I would enjoy it. Although I can like look at it and be like, yes, if I liked this type of game, I could see why people would love this.
It's I love the art.
Yeah, for sure. Apparently the voice acting is pretty good too. Debut indie game. This one didn't surprise me because the winner was the only one that I had heard of, and it was Phasmophobia, which is apparently this multiplayer game where you sort of are on a ghost hunt and you have to like work together to sort of find the ghost and not get your ass haunted and shit.
So I'm like, I'm looking up these games as we're talking about them, and I would never play this game.
But you just said you wanted to play Dead Space.
Dead Space isn't ghosts, okay? It's aliens.
Okay.
yeah,
Aliens can be killed.
Cult.
You know what you can't kill, Scott? Something that's already dead.
I'm just saying, based on what I've seen, the Dead Space games looks a lot scarier than this to me. But I could see how it might be scarier to other people.
I don't deal well with the occult.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, I mean, technically, Dead Space was an occult kind of thing.
No, they're aliens.
Yeah,
Alien cult.
but you
They're
worship them.
aliens.
It was
No,
like
they're aliens.
okay,
Aliens
fine.
that can be killed.
Yeah, well, you
Thunder
can't
Flame
kill.
in
Well,
the chat says that game scared the shit out of me. Dead Space is just as terrifying. So,
No.
but yeah, I think this is actually a game I wouldn't mind giving a try to play with like you guys or some friends or whatever. But
So you want to know the difference between Phasmophobia and Dead Space? I will not see Dead Space aliens in my house. I could see ghosts in my house.
never counted out. Didn't Obama go on record just recently saying that he had been briefed about aliens?
I'm
not
not
to
sure.
mention there was some article about Israel, like some intelligence person said the U.S. and them have been contacted by Galactic Empire, and then they're like, Earth is not ready. And which I'm like, I kind of agree with that. We are not ready for that stuff.
It's the 2020 finale, y'all.
Yeah. Alien show up says, we're going to welcome you to the Galactic Empire, but you need to change some stuff first.
It's like, who wrote this season? This season's awful.
Best mobile game went to Among Us. I don't think that's a big surprise to anybody. I will say the Among Us developers that made like their acceptance speeches a couple times during this award show, it was like 4 people, and they were like crying and seemed so happy, and so I am happy for them. Among Us has really taken the world by storm.
I laugh that it's a game that they just created like 2 years ago that no one really thought about, and then until some streamers got a hold of it, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for them, but honestly, I think that's kind of bullshit. Like, the game came out 2 years ago, so just because it got noticed this year, I don't feel like it should. I don't know. I could see both sides, I guess. I can't remember what award it was, but while I'm thinking about it, there was one award where it was like a man and a woman doing the acceptance speech, and the man was like in his office, but there was like a back window that the woman was standing at, I guess because of COVID, to make her part of the speech. But it's like it became like an instant meme template because it's like, women in the games industry standing outside.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I shouldn't. You can't laugh at that.
Community support that went to Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. So I don't know what they do to support the game, but sure. I feel like Fall Guys was popular for about 3 weeks and then it fell off the stratosphere.
I don't even know what Fall Guys is.
You don't?
I don't know either.
No idea.
It's a big multiplayer game where it's got like really cartoony graphics where you sort of compete in like a series of mini games against like 100 other people. I haven't played it, but apparently a lot of people love it. The Thunder Flame says there's actually records from right before JFK was assassinated about unidentified scrap pieces that had hit the ground from something exploding over the desert. I think I've heard that before.
Yeah, I think I've heard that one too.
Duffy says there's a galaxy pack that forbids developed planets to contact any undeveloped planet. Now that sounds
Oh yeah, we're underdeveloped.
Wow. We have got a conspiracy.
Isn't that
chat.
Fantasy Star?
Yeah.
No, that's Star Ocean.
Star Ocean, yeah, Star Ocean.
The Thunderflame also says there's so many more games with way more development and time put into it than these crap games to get number one. I don't get it. Yeah, a lot of times these winners feels like just the popular vote rather than like what is actually the most quality game. But oh well.
Yep.
Well, what denotes quality?
Yeah, if it was that quality, what shouldn't it be more popular? I don't know.
Well,
Best-
also it shows that the influence of streamers have effect on these things.
That's true. Best VR AR game went to Half-Life Alyx, surprising no one, I don't think. I don't have much to say about that. Innovation and accessibility, The Last of Us Part 2. I spent a little while like going through all the options in the menu, and this is also pretty much well-deserved. Like they had all kinds of colorblind options and options for disabled people and like camera or control switches you can do. It's like it was really like they went all out for the accessibility. So good on them.
That's good. Yeah. So the next is action game, which went to Hades.
Sorry,
But this was a rogue game, so I don't know. I know Jay's face wrinkled up at that.
I guess you could consider a rogue game an action game, right?
My face wrinkled up because I had a nose itch. I wasn't wrinkling my nose in disgust.
Sure it was. So, which one? The best action game was also with. Let's see.
The other nominees were Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, and Streets of Rage 4.
Okay, Doom Eternal might have been a close second, but yeah, okay, I get that.
Yeah, I don't think Doom Eternal ended up winning anything, which I was kind of expecting.
No, it didn't, which is sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so best action/adventure game, which is obviously The Last of Us Part 2. The other ones with that one, I should have left these in here, to be honest, but oh well.
You made this difficult.
Scott has them. Does Scott have them?
I'm doing a bunch of Control
memorized.
Fs over here.
He's memorizing these things.
What we're looking for action adventure.
Best
right?
action adventure game. I had it right here.
The others are Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Those are all good contenders, mostly.
Yeah. I mean, what's the I really want to know what's the criteria? What's the time length for some of these games? Like, if the game just released a month before the award show, should it be counted?
I think December is the cutoff. Anything released before December, and then like whatever comes out in December is part of like next year's Game Awards. Kind of a weird way they have it set up, but or you could just pick a game that came out 2 years ago and put it in there. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently. So,
yeah,
I don't know. All right,
it's
so the
weird
best
because,
RPG.
Like, okay, so Last of Us 2 is basically the best game in that series of games, but is it the best action adventure? I don't know. I would probably say no, personally.
So the best RPG, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yay! Much
Agreed with
deserved.
that.
Although some people don't
Yes.
think it's an RPG, but
They can shut their face.
I'm one of those people.
Shut your face.
you go back and
Best
forth.
fighting game.
Well, wait, we have to talk
Mortal
about that
Kombat.
one. We're the RPG show, right?
I do go back and forth a little bit because it's more like, if Final Fantasy VII Remake is an RPG, everything is an RPG.
I could see that.
I mean, there are no role-playing decisions being made, no real customizations.
Would you say NieR Automata is an RPG?
Well, yeah.
I would say it's action adventure.
Okay. I would say it's an action RPG, but like we've had this argument a dozen times.
Where's
before.
the role-playing part of it, though?
I
like,
play the
if
role of
that's-
sexy female android lady.
If NieR Automata is an action RPG, God of War is an action RPG. Like,
I think it's close.
What other? I'm trying to think. I don't have
The
my game
lines
shelf
get
over
blurred.
here. But I mean, Ghost of Tsushima is an action RPG. It's like everything's an action RPG. If NieR Automata is an action RPG,
I wouldn't consider something like Uncharted an action RPG, for example.
well, you make just as many decisions. What's the
Let's move
difference?
on.
The Japanese
This is
people
why we go
created
down that
it.
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So
we've
in
had
the
this
close
debate.
second, I think the close second would be Persona 5.
For the record, it's not a debate if one side doesn't present arguments.
That's because we've done this before. I wanted to bring up that this category, they put Persona 5 Royal in there, but not Xenoblade Definitive Edition. That feels like a big snub to me. That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
one
if
just
you
more
think about
popular?
Xenoblade, yeah, I would say not a lot of people. It's a Nintendo-based thing, so
I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, they're both fantastic games, so I feel like if anything, Wasteland 3 should get out of there, or even Genshin.
I didn't think Wasteland should even be in there, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what is Wasteland about. I don't know anything about it.
So they didn't consult with us when they made these categories. We would have told them to take
We
that
should be
out.
on the panel.
Yeah.
I am pretty disappointed.
We know. We know what the people want, and it's not Wasteland 3. Best fighting game, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate.
Okay.
guys play Mortal Kombat?
Based on the other choices, that's probably the correct choice. I think the only other one was like a Street Fighter 5 Ultimate or something.
Yeah, no, Street Fighter.
One of the nominees was like One Punch Man something or other.
Because there are a lot of fighting games come out.
Yeah, there's like 5 fighting games this year.
Yeah.
Or
So,
fighting
family-
RPGs, as some might call them.
Yeah.
Jason's gonna call everything. He's like, this is a strategy game. No, this is an RPG game.
Strategy RPG.
Yeah. Family game, family RPG game. So family game, Animal Crossing, New Horizons. I'm pretty sure Jay can make the argument that this is a RPG.
This is an RPG.
I would say that is deserving. Like if any game defines 2020, it was probably, especially in the first half, it was probably Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing and Tiger King are the 2020 duo.
Yeah. I think some people I've even seen some people saying that Animal Crossing should have won based on like how impactful it was. I disagree, but to each their own.
All right, so next up is the best sim strategy game, and Microsoft Flight Simulator won that. And is the Flight Simulator like actually a game, or are they using it as a flight simulator? Like,
I think they're using it as a flight simulator.
is both? What?
I think
I don't agree with this one, for
really,
sure.
what do you think what it should have won then?
Don't. Well, I mean, XCOM, Gears, I think those would have been a much better choice because they're actually like story modes and stuff. Flight simulators, you get in a plane and just fly.
But the claim to fame is like how
land.
technically impressive it is, right? Because it's supposed to be like the best graphics out of any game ever.
Well, I mean, that's good graphics does not a
Does that
game
make it the best sim? You guys are right.
It also like there's no. It says the best sim strategy game. Like, where's the strategy? You're just flying a plane. It's just an aircraft simulator.
Maybe you have to consider your fuel and like your. Oh my god, I don't even think about airplanes right now. Jay knows why.
So I mean, I guess because you have to fly the plane, not hit a tree, or you have to
You
take off,
probably have to
land.
plan. You have to plan your flights.
You have
Make
to
sure they leave
pre-check.
from the right airports and the times don't mismatch and all that.
Yeah, you can't. No teleporting airplanes.
Yeah. And also, they announced during the show that this game is apparently coming to console after all. So,
How can any consoles hold you? The base RAM recommendation is 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then it's intense. It's huge. That's because I think unless they did something to change how it loads, but I think that the most impressive thing about it is how huge, like it's all really lifelike, is from my understanding.
yeah. The clouds, man.
The clouds.
Yeah, I think that's whatever.
So the best sports racing game, as we move on, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I have nothing to say about this.
It was like the
But
remakes of the first 2 games. Apparently, it was a really good remake also. So I was happy that won. I was a big Tony Hawk nerd at one point in my youth.
They are the best sports RPG games out there.
Exactly.
So the best multiplayer game was Among Us. A little surprised, not too surprised though. A lot of people loved it. It is fun to play as a multiplayer. But
Is that popularity factor coming in again?
Yes,
Not that
it
it's
is.
not
Streaming.
deserving, but
I blame AOC.
Yeah. Oh, one thing they showed was the new map for Among Us, and my reaction to that was, can't wait to watch AOC play that.
All right, so next up, content creator of the year goes to Valkyrie. Valkyrie?
Yeah,
I have no
Valkyrie.
idea who that is. The only person that I knew on there was Alana.
I didn't know any of them. I picked Alana because I think I had heard of her. But
Yeah, she's
I
she's
follow
pretty,
her on
pretty good at what she
Twitter.
does.
She's the only one I follow on Twitter.
but congrats to her, I guess.
Congrats to Valkyrie, whomever that is. The best
Good job.
esports athlete is Hyo Showmaker Sue.
Yeah,
Good
I think we
job.
could probably speed through these esports because none of us know anything about any of it, right?
Best esports coach, Danny Zonic Sorensen.
By the way, my strategy of picking the most attractive people for these esports categories did not work. So,
I figured that's what you did.
yeah.
I just picked always like whatever the third option was, I think, or I just kept clicking.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
Now, anytime you see 10 on a test, the answer is C, because
There you go.
10 is C.
I've heard that used to be true, but then like they started like going against that somehow.
I had a high school teacher. Every single test of his 10 was C, because he could not let the joke die.
There you go. Best
I'm
esports
confused.
event. Yeah, Rich is like math tests.
What?
Best esports
Anyways.
event is League of Legends World Championship 2020. Best esports game is League of Legends. Really? Why? I don't know. Esports host went to Ifj Jacques Deportier. Ooh, what a name.
have no
Esports
idea.
team went to G2 Esports. So congrats to all the esports people. But yeah, I think that's it for the Game Awards. Any final thoughts on the show or anything? Or the winners or anything, guys?
Nope.
Not really.
I don't know. I never get excited about the video game awards because it's usually like, well, I haven't quite played 90% of what's being even talked about.
Yeah. It was fun to watch. It really dragged like towards this once we got into the second half or maybe the second third or whatever. But I enjoy watching them every year. It's like sort of like because I don't care about the Emmys or Oscars or anything like that at all. So it's like this is my thing.
I would rather have like a huge group of people with like nachos and chips and salsa and like stuff happening in the background where we could ignore the game awards most of the time.
Yeah, fair. Because I mean, there was a lot of stuff announced, but like none of it, except for maybe the Sephiroth and Smash was like the big thing for me. And other than that, nothing really hyped me up too much. Some cool stuff for sure, but some of the winners are questionable, I think. But for the most part, I think the games that really deserved to win did, especially like in the big categories.
We're counted.
But yeah, that's it for the Game Awards. You guys ready to move on to our quick early Cyberpunk impressions?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll let one of you guys take the lead on this one because I've barely been paying attention, like I said, to Corey's
Jay,
Cyberpunk.
save some of it for the aftercast.
I'll
Yeah,
take.
we're not going to
I'll
talk about the
take
controversies.
it. So I'm having fun. The overall, it's a very fun game. It is what I classify as actually being an RPG. But for the most part, it's really fun. It's hitting all the expectations that I have had. Granted, I did not my expectations did not shoot through the roof like so many other people's did. Like, I feel like there were so many people who were expecting this game to be like their way to completely live another life in Night City, you know, like they were expecting it to be some RPG that they could, you know, log in, completely forget about their real life, and then just be engulfed in this world. But it's not. There is a narrative, like there is a story being told. Like the character that you play as, V, has a very specific story that's being told, albeit there are a bunch of routes that you can go about having this story told. But it's not like this person's life is completely customizable to whomever is playing. Even the life paths that you pick in the beginning have very little change on what's actually happening. They more so just open up dialogue
As I
options.
say, all I've noticed so far are dialogue choices.
Yeah, it's just dialogue choices that change a little bit. The gameplay itself, I am really enjoying. There are some bugs that kind of take me out of some of the dramatic events that happen. Like there was a scene where I was talking to, the ghost of Johnny Silverhand, and like he lights up a cigarette and he's moving the cigarette around, and then like all of a sudden the cigarette's like stuck in midair and he still has another one in his hand. And so he's like sitting there talking. It's like dramatic, but there's just a floating cigarette right in front of him. Like it like duplicated and got stuck. And then whenever he disappeared, like his cigarette was still like there. It's like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
There are a lot of dialogue bugs. Like I'll find that I'm mid conversation with somebody, and then somebody will call me, and V will answer the phone, and so two conversations will be going on at the same time. And it's like, this is what's happening. Stop it. And I didn't want to answer the phone. So that kind of sucks. But other than that, pretty good. I found myself dying a lot because I'm having a hard time like leveling up fast because I'm not necessarily doing a lot of battles because I am not going.
It seems like it's
guns
really
blazing.
easy to wander into like an area where the enemies are just like way a higher level than you.
Yeah, I mean, I wandered into some area. I was like, oh man, there's an active crime happening. Go stop it. I was like, oh, I'll stop it and start shooting at them. And there's like nothing, and then they shoot me, and I'm just like dead in 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm gonna go back to Chinatown and do some of the side quests in here to like level up. But generally speaking, I'm having a great time. The game looks really good on my computer. I like the art style and direction. I like the narrative.
The art style is awesome. I will give it that.
Yeah.
Just the way the city looks and like the characters and all that.
Yeah. And so I'm going to spend quite a lot of time doing side quests and leveling up because I think I've gone farther into the story than I wanted to without realizing it. I'm convinced that the main storyline in this game, without doing anything else, is maybe going to be 15 to 20 hours.
So you're trying to drag it out a little bit.
So yeah, I
done in a day.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to make sure I do all the side quests for all the side characters.
A game that got Jay to do side quests. What will
Holy
they
crap.
come up with next?
Yeah, pretty
What
much.
about you, Rich? What are you like generally thinking so far?
I'm not too far into it. I'm probably like an hour and a half in. The customization is in depth.
I feel like the customization took an hour.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Real quick,
you
just reminded me of something that kind of annoys me. I picked light brown hair in the custom creator because the lighting in the customer and the character creation is not the same lighting that's in the game. So I thought I picked light brown hair. I picked red hair, and so
that's awesome.
I thought I picked like kind of shaggy, longer hair on top, short in the back. I picked a mullet because I didn't rotate. So now my character is
we saw that hairstyle
as
too,
a-
and we're like, oh, that looks cool, and then saw the back of it, and like, nope.
Yeah. It's like, so my character is a ginger with a mullet, and I'm like, God
Oh,
dang
wow.
it.
Yeah, and apparently
is
I read that
awesome.
you can't change it after.
No, there's
later.
no hair, no
Surely they'll add that
salons.
in somehow through DLC later.
I sure hope so.
So
We should send each other pictures of our characters at some point.
yeah. So I've got. I mean, the customization was good. I don't really know why I needed to change genitalia. I just don't.
I've had a sex scene already, and you don't see your own junk.
So yeah, what's the point of that? I don't get it. But you know what? It's fine. It
I
is what
did
it
hear
is.
about a bug where like that your character's like breasts or dick just randomly pop out.
Yeah, they clip out of the clothing.
And
Is it a bug or a
life.
feature?
It's a feature.
It's Night City,
Scare
baby.
tactic. So when I was playing with some friends and watching it a little bit, because I didn't get too far into it, and when you get to the part where you can actually, you fall asleep after you did a certain mission, you wake back up and you got to go meet your buddy.
Oh,
I
that's
took
when you're
all-
butt naked.
Yeah.
You wake up butt naked, yeah.
Yeah, I took all my clothes off and I ran outside. And I was really hoping that dialogue would happen of like, dude, you're naked, or like people would scream. No. Everybody's like, what's up? But no. And then you look down and you got clothes on.
Yeah, that is weird. I noticed Corey like showered with all his clothes on at one point. So I
Yeah.
don't know if that was intended or.
I don't think it's intended, but you know, I thought that was.
Well, you got to take your own clothes off, okay? It's a role-playing game.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to fight crime or whatever it is, just wearing a hat. Nothing
Nothing
else.
Man.
Yeah,
I question
exactly.
the need for there to even be like this intense character creation in a first-person game, like because you see your character so rarely. I feel.
I don't.
I think mostly for photo mode, if we're being honest.
There's
I've
photo
never
mode
been
in
one
this
for
thing?
photo mode myself, so
They need to stop putting photo mode in everything.
I feel like
It's
it's like
getting a little
almost a
much.
required feature these days, though.
There is going to be an Instagram account posting photo modes from Cyberpunk for like the next 5 years, because there's still Witcher Instagram accounts that are very, very active with just screenshots of The Witcher.
Lame.
Okay.
Lame. But other than that, I mean, I haven't got too far to fully give my impressions on it. I just know that some of the gameplay is a little off. What was it? The don't pull your gun out and shoot the ground in a crowd of people.
They scatter. The AI is kind of dumb in this game.
Yeah, they freak out. So
I saw one where a dude was sitting in a wheelchair and somebody shot and the dude got up and ran.
that's awesome.
Strap wants to know how is the fishing minigame. Is there a fishing minigame?
I swear to God, there better not be.
I haven't done any fishing. I did swim for a little bit because I driving's not the greatest in this game either. I had a motorcycle.
Corey said it
and
was
I
wonky.
accidentally drove off the edge straight into a river and had to swim. And the
Wouldn't you
swimming
just
was kind of
rust?
wonky.
Yeah, basically, I would think so.
Got a
But-
rusty dick.
Oh no.
Um,
That's my impression. What about you, Scott?
well, like I said, I've been like working on side shit and not been able to like super focus on what the hell Corey's getting into while he's playing the game. But I will say, like Jay said, I love the look of the game, but I should have looked into the game more beforehand. I just watched some CG trailers. I had no idea it was like a first person game, and it plays sort of like, rather than have cutscenes with the story just sort of happens around you. Like characters talk to you and shit, and you continue to have free movement usually. And for me, I don't really like those games that much. It usually has to be like a really fucking great game for that style to work for me.
I don't like Skyrim,
Right.
Oblivion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Half-Life, although I did end up liking the story in Half-Life at the end. It took like both games before I started to care. Just games like that. I don't know. It's just not really for me. But I'm going to keep watching Corey play it. He's had some pretty bad bugs though. The game has just outright crashed on him twice. Luckily, the game seems to autosave fairly often, so he hasn't really lost too much progress due to that, although he did have to like redo one entire side quest. Did you guys do the side quest where the guy's like penis implant is malfunctioning? You have to like rush him to the hospital.
No, I
I
haven't
haven't
done
done that one yet,
I got
no.
that far.
You had to do that twice.
I do like that you can, there's like, if you go to your computer in your house, you can see some of the mail, the junk mail, and there's one that's about a spam mail about
Yeah,
penis
I saw
enlargement gel.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best thing ever.
But yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep playing it. Some of the other bugs, like his car randomly exploded once, and he's had stuff where like the UI won't go away when it's supposed to, and there's been like collectible items you're supposed to be able to pick up that it just won't let, like the prompt to pick it up just doesn't come up. So just weird shit like that, and I think he's been pretty disappointed just because of how unpolished the game is in general so far.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I'm probably going to do a playthrough now and then a playthrough later in 2021. See how much better it is. I want to wait to do like an actual review because I'm a kind of person like that. Like I want to wait to see like how they get around this before we do a review of the game for the show. Because I don't know, I want to like the game a lot more than I am liking it. And I mean, if we're going to review The Witcher after all the Witcher issues have been fixed, well, I'm cool with giving this game a little bit longer to bake before we review it.
Do you have any idea how long it took before The Witcher was not buggy as hell?
I think it was
last year.
probably 6 months, 1 year almost.
That's not bad. No, I was thinking it might have been taken like years to get it to the state it's in now.
I'm pretty sure it was good before all the DLC came out.
Gotcha. Okay, well, any other Cyberpunk thoughts?
No?
It's made me want to go back and play The Witcher. Like I'm so close to buying The Witcher on PC just so I can bump up the graphics to higher than the PS4.
Yeah, I still want to play that game too at some point.
And apparently, if you use cloud, like if you put your save data in the cloud, which is automatic for the Steam version, and it's an option on the Switch version to like load from the cloud, you can play on PC, save it, and then like go in the other room and play it on the Switch, and
That's
just
awesome.
load from the cloud.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be playing more Cyberpunk today and in the days to come, but eventually we'll do a review and we'll continue to give our thoughts like during our catch-up segments and whatnot. But I think we're ready to move on to our outro.
Let's do this.
Hey guys, it's Scott here real quick to pop in and tell you guys the results of our Game Awards betting pool. So for those that don't know, this was a competition where everybody just guessed what they thought would win each category of the Game Awards, with a prize on the line of some free show swag / merch. So I have calculated the results. I wasn't able to do it before the episode due to various circumstances. But just for clarification, the way the scoring works is each category of the Game Awards is worth 1 point if you guessed it right, except for Game of the Year, which is worth 2 points, and best or all the esports categories, which are worth half a point. Yeah, and so there is a possible 29 points that you could get out of everything if you guessed everything right. And so the winner of our RPG After Years Game Awards betting pool is... It's a tie between Lauren and Abrac. Congratulations, Lauren and Abrac. I will be getting with you, sliding into your DMs to discuss how to get you your awards. And if you want a detailed breakdown to figure out where you scored or where everybody else scored or whatever, you can hop into our Discord where we will be detailing those results. Anyway, thanks. Back to the show.
All right, guys. I think we had a great year of gaming with everything that's happened. We all can agree that gaming has helped us through these difficult times. Scott, take us out.
All right, gang. Episode 45. I have no idea. I'm not even sure if it's my turn or Jay's turn to play an episode.
I think it's my turn. I have not decided yet what
It'll
that
be
will
a surprise. We know what the next episode after that will be. It'll be the Secret Santa, but you guys just will have to wait and see, I guess. So we'll launch into our plugs now.
Yeah. So you guys can rate and review us to give us good feedback to let us know how we're doing on the show. It really helps us in our rankings. You can rate and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, Apple Pod, whatever you get your podcasts. Go give us some good feedback. We'd really appreciate that. If you have some negative ones, please don't leave that there.
It helps with the algorithms.
Yes. The math. Check out the math.
One more quick reminder, we do have a Patreon. It's a great way to support the show. Like I mentioned earlier, you get early episode access, ad-free episodes, get to hear the aftercast where we talk about all the controversies surrounding gaming, including CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk that we're going to talk about right after this. You get extra non-RPG bonus game reviews. You get to participate in the nominations and voting for the RPG Club, which we're getting kind of close to. Sometime next month will be the next round of those. And lots more. So you can find all that at patreon.com/RPGafteryears.
Again, we are streaming this live to everybody. We stream every Sunday, usually around 9 a.m. at twitch.tv/RPGafteryears. Come join us.
We also have some beautiful merch available on Redbubble at redbubble.com/people/RPG Afteryears/explore.
Or you could just search RPG After Years on Redbubble. If you want to reach us, you have some feedback for the show, or you just want to, give us some episode ideas or questions or whatever, you can do that by emailing us. The address is rpgafteryears@gmail.com.
If you want to talk to us all, join our community, have some great people to talk with and chat, definitely check out our Discord. Link can be found in the show notes or pinned to a tweet on our Twitter page.
Speaking of Twitter, you can find the show at RPG Years, and you can find me at The Scott Spot.
And you can find me at HaleBlue1569. I must have left Jay out there.
You can find me at JAYDHizzle.
All right. Thank you all for hanging out with us this week and going over some of the great year of gaming. And we talked a little bit about what we thought of Cyberpunk 2077. Join us next week for another exciting episode of the RPG After Years. I'm Rich.
I'm Scott.
I'm Jay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
We're off to Night City.